We are very pleased today to have with us Kathryn Bentley, Professor Bentley from. Good to have you here, Kathy. Thank you. You're on the faculty at SIU Edwardsville.
I am indeed.
And I think you're head of the performance program, is it?
I'm not head of the performance area anymore. I was briefly, and now I got a new position as the director of our Black Studies program. So I have a double appointment, I guess dual appointment, both as an associate professor of theater and the director of the Black Studies program for the university.
So you do quite a bit of directing?
I do, yes. Yeah. A lot of directing at SIUE. Once a year of the main stage show, and then I also am the artistic director of our Black Theater Workshop, which is an annual show, and directing around town in St. Louis.
Yeah. So how long? I know I've seen you act at some point in the past.
I have. Yeah, that's how I started, and I still enjoy acting, but I haven't done anything major in St. Louis for a while.
You're a little busy.
I'm a little busy directing and teaching and doing some other community type of work, but I still enjoy acting. Yeah.
How did you get started in theater?
Years ago. So I was really in high school, or junior high is really when I started. I just product of Webster Groves High School, and had a drama teacher that was phenomenal and just encouraged me to keep going, and went to school for theater, and then also I met my current mentor, Bill Grivna, who was really was instrumental in me finishing my degree at SIUE, where I currently teach. So I've had some really good support systems who pushed me.
Good people
along
the way. And now you're launching into a new venture, I believe. Here. So called Bread and Roses.
That's right.
Nice combination. Tell us about it.
That is. So July I think is when I started with Bread and Roses. Joan Suarez, who is the director of Bread and Roses Missouri, approached me and asked me to fill the shoes of Agnes Wilcox, who was the first artistic director of the company and the director of the Workers' Opera.
Yes.
And my heart beat really fast, and I was like, because I'm like, she had some little bitty shoes, but some really big shoes, and those people who knew Agnes know exactly what I'm talking about, and I took it as a great honor to even be asked to be part of this, because Agnes gave me one of my first acting jobs.
Really?
Years ago.
What was the show?
It was I played a nurse. I can't remember the name of it, but it was with TNT. And I can't remember what the name of the play was, but it was like, I was really young, and it was exciting, and it was the first professional type job I had. So to be asked to do this with Bread and Roses, I was like, okay, I'm not sure what I'm saying yes to, but okay, yes, and so I stepped into that in July, and as artistic director and director of the Workers' Opera, and it's been a really interesting and good experience. In this working in this capacity. It combines everything I love, with theater and community involvement and theater for social justice, and so it's been really good this last few months.
Now, the name Bread and Roses, does that have a significance?
Yes. So, and actually, we have incorporated a skit written by our phenomenal associate artistic director Colin McLaughlin about the Bread and Roses strike, that gives some historical perspective on what that means, and it has to do with for workers and workers' rights, that bread alone is not enough, that people need roses, they need beauty, and they need time with family and sleep and things like that in order to survive. And so this is it's a mantra for the workers' movement, for the labor's movement, that we need bread and we need roses. And so this is the history of the name for this organization here in St. Louis.
Yeah. And you've got a show coming up soon, right?
Yes, we do. And we're not going to let the snow that canceled a couple of rehearsals stop us. We're still going to do a show next Sunday, January 27th. We have a show at the History Museum at 1 o'clock. and it's open to all. It's open to anyone. It's free admission, and our show, we have revamped, and we're constantly revamping the Workers' Opera because it's based on whatever issues that we see are relevant, that we feel are relevant as far as workers' rights or possibly different things that are on the ballot. So we have updated somewhat some of the skits that we've done, that we did just recently before the election.
Now, the name is opera. How much music does that involve?
There is some music. It's opera because there are vignettes. There's several vignettes that make up the whole piece. And actually this time there is music. We have the same young man that I was talking about, who's just my phenomenal partner in this. Colin is also our composer and musician during the show. So we've been able to incorporate, and I love incorporating music, and so we've been able to incorporate music a great deal in the piece.
So is there a combo, an orchestra, a band, anything? Or
well,
what?
not a combo and orchestra, but we do have, Colin will perform, and usually we'll have someone else perform with him, and he is like his own little orchestra because he plays almost every instrument.
Really?
I looked over one day, I was like, what? Who's playing that banjo? And who's playing? It's Colin. He plays the keyboard, then he's playing the banjo. He's very talented, so yeah.
Now, so this is like a series of brief scenes, is that it?
Yes.
Now, what sort of things are in the scenes?
Well, the way that we work is very collaborative in how we develop these scenes. So we start off in the summer with these story circles and meetings with the people that are involved, the performers, the laborers, workers turned performers who are involved. And we figure out what issues are rising to the top for us. So in this year, we are tackling immigration in one of ours. We're very excited about this. Is a new piece that we're just developing now. We've tackled right to work, fight for 15. Our subjects also the vignettes have tackle issues of racism, gender bias. So those sorts of things that are important for people that are in work and labor movements right now.
Yeah, I recognize all of them.
Yes.
I've heard of them before. Yeah. So then you said the performers in it are actually not necessarily actors.
Right.
I mean, certainly not a profession, but even as how did they get into this?
Well, so I've heard from some of them, because most of them, or I should say several of them who are involved now were involved before I was involved. And so a woman named Agnes Wilcox was very persuasive.
Yeah, she is.
She was very persuasive in getting people to become involved. And one lady even tells this story, Georgia Brown Moore tells the story of how this little woman, knocks on her door and convinced her, you need to be part of this troupe. So it started as that, as Agnes really reaching out to folks. Yeah. And what's happened is the people that have been involved have reached out to friends or colleagues that they thought would be good to be part of it. Yeah. So we do have a few people who have come through who do have acting training, who are professional actors. But I pulled in one friend of mine who's in the piece now, but she's also, a member of unions and a laborer, and so it's it's just that she also has this training as a performer. But now, because of the work we do, everyone walks around and feels like, I'm an actor, and they surely are, because we've worked, we've trained, and they are doing it.
Now, and so who writes the scenes? Once you've decided on the subject matters?
Well, Colin, so what happens is that we have these sessions where we talk about what's bubbling up for us, and we brainstorm. We've done improvisation to come up with the scenes, and then Colin goes home, and the little genius that he is, the young genius, he's not little, the young genius, goes home and he stays up all night and he writes these wonderful scripts, and he comes back with these scripts, and then we discuss them. We read through and discuss and see, what. Because he's very in tune to making sure that people are feeling like their voice is being heard. Yeah. And this is a true collaboration in every sense of the word. So we read through, and if people feel like, I don't think she would say that, or is this the point we're really trying to make? So it really, he really is spearheads that writing process.
Yeah. So how many of these pieces are there in this version of the Workers' Opera?
In this coming Workers' Opera, we have 6 or 7 vignettes, I think, because some vignettes and songs. So we have a couple of
so around 10 minutes each or so.
About that.
Yeah.
Some a lot shorter, you know, and so the whole piece is about an hour.
And someone who has been there before will see new things if they come this time.
Oh yes, most definitely. You'll see. Like I said, the piece on immigration is new. In fact, everything that we're doing, there may be some that look the same, but we've changed it because the topics have changed as far as amendments passing, or you know. So yeah. That's
well, the right to work, you persuaded people
that's
the right way to
that's
vote.
Right.
So.
That's right. So
well,
that's changed.
We're almost out of time. So tell us again when and where it's going to be.
Well, it's next Sunday. January 27th at the Missouri History Museum at 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock p.m.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very, very much for coming. I'm really interested in seeing it.
Thank you. I hope you do come.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing you.
Break a leg with it.
Thank you.
Go all the way with it. Great.
Thank you.
So good to see you again. Good
You
to see
too. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.